Hi, everyone. So I'd like to introduce my Babe, Mrs. Tuky Treitel, a child survivor of the Holocaust. And we have my mother-in-law, Mrs. Nechama, who is going to interview and ask questions so we can hear a little bit about what she experienced, what my grandmother experienced, and her wise words of what we can learn from her. So I'm going to leave it to them. Okay, so thank you so much.
Okay. So that's my mother, believe it or not. Thank God.
Very, very proud mother.
Okay, if you don't hear, just tell us to repeat. So indicate and we'll start again. Okay. The first question is, tell us your name.
My name is Marian Gestepner, Tuky Treitel.
Okay. Where were you born?
Budapest, Hungary, a long time ago.
A long time ago. And do you know where Hungary is, everyone? It's very, very, very far away. It's in Europe. Okay? And I don't know if you all know, but 76 years ago in Europe, there was a huge world war. And one of the main horrible things that happened was that they wanted to exterminate and get rid of all the Jews, all of us. Didn't matter what you looked like, the whole world over. So we're going to just ask my mother, what was life before the war, even if maybe you don't remember because you were very little, but if you can give us a little bit of a feeling, what did you do as a little girl in Hungary? Mommy?
Hungary life before, yes,
okay.
I'm answering.
Okay.
The war, before the war, we had a large family, a very happy family, thank God. And our house was always very, very busy with lots of guests and company. We lived in the city and a lot of people from smaller towns, they had no hospitals there or doctors, they all came and people stayed. People just arrived with families and stayed by us for weeks, months, whatever. No reservations, no cell phones, no nothing. And they were always treated like family. So, we slept on the floor and the guests slept in our beds.
So you sound and like
you was fun.
You sound
and we loved it.
You sound
we
like you had
it.
You sound like you had a very, very open house to everyone.
Very open house and a fun house because of it was open. So everyone, of course, we laughed and we made fun of the guests and we made fun of ourselves. It was just a fun place to be.
Okay, so that sounds like a very nice and peaceful home. When did you realize, and what made you realize that things got worse? Or maybe you didn't realize what happened from having a happy home, and one day what happened?
I tell you, we were taught, as I was very young, so I was totally oblivious about the upheaval and what was happening. But one day, just a truck pulled up in front of our house. I yelled at my soldiers came in, which were SS now, we know. They came in, they yelled at my mother, everybody into the truck now. And my mother wanted to put 2 dresses on us. She realized that this is not going to be a one-night stand. She wanted to put several dresses on. No, you don't do that. My brother was a baby brother. My mother slapped him on his arms. My sister was crying, we can't even take a diaper. No, get going. And so we sat on the truck. And at the same time, I don't know if it's pertinent for this, that my father was coming from the synagogue and from shul, and he was looked at what's going on from the corner, and he had to make a very quick decision. Do I go with them? I'm lost. If I'm out, I can help them. And that's exactly how it was.
So 1 minute, mommy, 1 minute, mommy, 1 minute. Let me just recap. So what happened was they were going to take the whole family away from your house, and you don't know where, and your father saw what was happening. Instead of running to you, he said, that's not going to be a smart idea. because I won't be able to help, right? So what did your father decide?
He decided not to go, and he escaped. I mean, he turned the other way, and he knew never not to go home to the house because they were waiting for us or waiting for him. And he right away went to the city, and he organized himself, and he was taking care of things. I mean, I wasn't
right. But did they take you? Did they release you from the police station?
No, we didn't take us to the police station. They took us to a holding unit where they kept my mother in. It was called an internment something, and she was imprisoned. And us children, they took, I think it was, I don't know if it was the Jewish agency or the city agency, took the children and placed us on different homes. I was placed with two, I don't know, maybe there were two single ladies or maybe girls, but only two ladies I saw. I don't remember a man or anything. And that's where I was, and very short time, very short, maybe days only, I remember, but I was miserably sad. I was used to rambunctious, hopping around, loving the kids, bicycling, fighting, and just having a good time. And I was totally alone instead of being in a whole bustling place. So it took.
And then
then they were taking us from places to places to places, placing us. And then I was together with my parents again. It was a miserable place, miserable state.
Okay. And then what happened? What did your father decide that he's going to do with you and with whom else? Because things were getting really terrible in the city, and that he was afraid that the Germans were going to come and take his children away. So what did he do? Right.
He knew that
right.
they were going to take us away, and he also knew that they're not going to give us back alive, or he'll never see us again. And my father befriended through someone, another very righteous Gentile lady, who found somebody in the villages, on hamlets, not even villages, on hamlets, who for a ransom, a lot of money, and he placed us in different places. My younger sister somewhere else, my younger brother somewhere else, me, my younger brother who's not here anymore, and a cousin. We were two cousins living always together. My aunt and uncle and us, we were always together. They had 9 children, we had 11 children, and it was always fun. So one of my cousins was with me, right near me on the hamlet on another farm. I was on a farm.
So your father sent you?
My father's son called us, and he said, you are going to go away with these people, and your name is going to be Maria Lodic. Remember that. And then he said, and you're a Jewish girl, and you have to remember that your name is Malka. Your name is not Mary. Your real name is Malka. You're only using the name Maria. Just remember that. And it is a custom, and even on many times on Friday night, many places in my home, Friday night, my father blessed the children. And I remember my father blessing us, and my hair was wet from his tears. He never knew if he was going to see us again. They sent away the children, and unfortunately, many children never made it back, and many survived, and they don't know that they're Jewish, and the parents never made it, and they grew up to be never realizing who they are.
So your father sent you to a stranger's
Village,
home,
in the country, total country,
stranger's home. Not you didn't know if you're going to see your father, and your father certainly didn't know if he would ever see you again, or your mother for that matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now.
And he told me I'm allowed to eat anything, and that meant that I was, under the circumstances, I was allowed to eat not kosher, which to me was and is like poison. I could not swallow it. As young as I was, I could not swallow pork. I couldn't.
So let me ask you, did you forget when you were there that you were Jewish?
Never. Never.
So tell us, what did you do? As a Jewish girl,
I
how were you a
slept-
Jewish girl in this strange and
I tell you what I did. I know that you can't go to sleep without saying Shema. You can't get out of bed without saying Modeh to thank Hashem that you woke up. And believe me, till this day, I'm 83. When I say Modeh in the morning, God knows that I'm happy that I'm alive. I make sure.
Right. So you made sure. And how did you do this? That the people in the farm shouldn't see that you were Jewish. How did you do this secretly?
I tell you what I did. I was sleeping on one mattress with two other girls.
Was it a mattress? Mommy, was it a mattress?
No, it wasn't a mattress. You want to know what it was? Not because they were poor. Don't feel sorry because that's the way the people in the country live. They had a burlap sack filled with straw. And it was filled with straw, and that was the mattress. Beautiful clean linen on it, pillows and eider down covers, but that's the way it was. I slept on one of these sacks with my two girls that were from the farm. And I waited for them to fall asleep. Then I put my face in the pillow and I covered my eyes and I said, Shema Yisrael. And that's how I kept. That's whatever I knew I said. In the morning, the same thing. I turned around, I coughed, I moaned, but I said Modeh.
Okay.
And came lunchtime when they were serving food, there was always a drummer coming and saying the news. So while I was running out to listen to the news, how many Jews they killed, they were joyous about it. I said the brocha on the not kosher soup that I was eating.
While everybody was out, that's when you snuck in your blessing.
That's right.
Tell us, how did the non-Jews discover who you really were? What happened? That's actually very funny today. No.
It wasn't.
Mommy, you froze.
We're on the footprint part. I froze?
No, you're good now. Well, does everybody hear? Do you all hear clearly? Yes? Okay, good. Okay, go ahead, Mommy. So how did the non-Jews and the Germans find you, a little Jewish girl in this village?
I tell you, in the village, there was always a lawyer. Maybe it wasn't a lawyer, but a policeman, a gendarme. I don't think the children know what a gendarme is. It's higher than the police.
It's like chief of police. It's like the chief of police.
Yes, but there were many gendarmes. So
okay.
In France, okay? And they were all sitting on a bench next to the farmers, and they all philosophizing, cursing the Jews, of course. Everything is because of the dirty Jews. We have to suffer. That's why the war is. It was very common. And I always said, yes, the girls also, little girls were saying, everything is because of the Jews. They didn't know what a Jew is. They didn't know I was a Jew. And on that farm where my brother and my cousin was, there was a little calf. I don't even think maybe they don't live there. There was a calf that was born. And my brother who was 5, and my cousin was 4.5, they decided they loved it, they were fascinated, a tiny little red, they were fascinated with it, so they decided they want to buy it. And these guys sitting on the bench in front of the house, they were teasing them, saying, okay, it's going to be yours, so when can we have it? Now it has to nurse, you have to wait 2 weeks. 2 weeks is 14 days, they were counting it like sphere as if they knew. And the time was up, 2 weeks. The boy said, the calf can walk already. We want to have the calf. He says, that doesn't work like that. You have to pay. And you have no money. So my cousin says, we have no money. When the Russians beat, and look how the kids knew the politics. The Russians beat the Germans, we get back our factory, we will be able to buy this whole town. And they're sitting there and they're looking at each other, and they decided, I was not there. I just heard the story afterwards because they came to me, it was already at night, in the evening, and they came to pick me up. The police came to take me out from that house. And they took me, she said the police station. It wasn't really. Now I see there was a billiard table. I don't know, maybe it was the tavern. I have no clue. And my brother and my cousin are standing in the corner, sniffling, crying. And the police chief asks me, what's your name? I said, my name is Lodic Maria. And he says, that's not your name. What's your real name? I said, my real name is Lodic Maria. Then he takes out a billiard stick and he says, you're not going to say your name. We're going to beat you till you bleed, but you'll say your name. I said, you can do what you want. My name is, and I didn't finish, and my cousin started crying. Her name is Mariana de Stetner, and the mother's name is Gisela Solomon. You had to, when you were legal, they right away asked, what's your name and what's your mother's maiden name? And he said it, so it was finished, it was over, and we were arrested, the three little rascals.
A 6-year-old and a 4-year-old arrested, imagine. Children, could you imagine that?
I was almost 7.
Oh, massive. Okay, 7. 7 years old. So what happened? Where did they take you when they arrested you? Where were they going to take you?
Actually, the people that we stayed with, I said already a few times, he brought some soup along in a thermos, and the gendarme was going on a bicycle, and we were running after him to the next little town, where they said, here, they went to the police station, here is the 3 rascals, get rid of them. And they were very proudly saying that our house, there was a word that they used to say, Judenrein, clean of Jews. We are clean of Jews. We are clean already. So we missed it. So we tracked along to the next town, walking nicely. And there also, this just comes to show how God wants you to live, you will live. And we lived. Next one, we missed the last transport the day before. The third place, it was by hours. The same thing they say, they bring here, we have these 3 little rascals, we're gonna get rid of them. And it's interesting that God's miracle, that they didn't decide to shoot us. They were not shy to shoot. It's so, I was thinking about it. Because God guides everything, and he just wanted me here to tell you this story.
So what kind of place did you land in? What happened at the very end of your running to the...
In Budapest in a holding unit again, where there were a lot of people, and that was the last solution they did. In Hungary, you won't understand that in 4 months they liquidated 450 Jews they killed.
450,000 Jews.
450,000 Jews. 100, yeah. No problem. They did it very efficiently. Hungarians were very helpful. And they took us up there and they put me in with the women, and they disinfect you. It's a whole big deal. And then they take you into a big room where there are shelves, and those are called the beds. And I don't know if I should say this, a lady saw me. They take me into a room where ladies are there. One lady, and she started screaming and crying, are the children still alive? I want my child. I want my child. So they took me out of there because she went
hysterical.
More than hysterical, totally demented. Totally demented. They could not control her. She was shrieking and throwing herself. It was horrible. So they took me out of that. Then they decided that they'll have to get rid of me. They're sending me to Auschwitz, no less. So they put me into a basement with a lot of people and no beds, just spring. We slept in our clothes, and in the corner there was a big pail. That was the powder room, the ensuite bathroom. So that's where we were. And one morning I look up, it's in a cellar, and I see through the bars my brother and my cousin's shoes. So I yelled to them, I summoned them, and they sat down. I tied the shoe, and I said Modani with them and Shema, I knew. And that was our encounter there. until they came.
And then what happened? What were they? That room they were waiting for what? What was going to
They were
happen from that
waiting.
room?
From that room, they were sending the transports as fast as they could. They came and the door opened up. I don't know if I dreamt it or somebody told me, don't go away from here. And they opened the door and comes an SS.
An SS is a soldier, is a German soldier.
Okay, German soldier, or it was an Aerocross or a Hungarian one, because he spoke Hungarian, understood me. And he stands there with his folder and ticks off names, and they go onto the truck. When it came my turn, I was very small and skinny, and even shy, believe it or not. And I had a speech impediment, and I said to him, I'm sorry, officer, I cannot leave from here. I have a brother and two little ones that I have to take care of. They can't even tie their shoelaces. So he had pity on me, had hid me behind the door.
He opened the big door and he told you to go behind. And then
behind. And then
people left.
And then the truck left, pulled off. He said, get lost. And I even got a piece of cake from a kitchen there.
Okay, so now you're in this holding place, and your father is doing what? He
the letter. They were making fun of me, but I didn't relentlessly. I showed up every day, asked, this is my name. And I think that my father found us this way because a truck pulled up with an SS that they had to take us to questioning. So then they took us out and took us to our parents. But this was at the very end, because I know that 3 weeks after we were liberated.
So then, right. Okay. And then your father found you. What happened when you found? Do you remember meeting your father after this big trauma?
That I want you to know, I did not cry once. But when I saw my father, I can start crying now. I could not, the floodgates just sobbing, and they tried to make me laugh, and I was so full of wounds and sores, and they were trying to humor me, my father. I couldn't, so I was holding my lips tightly that I could not laugh. Everything, my mouth was full of sores, my body was full of sores. So,
yeah.
And here I am.
Here you are. And after that, of course, was there, there's a trauma till the end of liberation, but what would you say to the children today? What message do you have to all these beautiful girls and parents from your experience?
You each count. There is a power of one. I came back and it's all worth it. Look at my daughter right there.
And your granddaughters, Hannah and Sivya, and your grand and
I came back, you can say one, and I have a tribe that I thank very, very proud of. I'm blessed, and I bless all of you. You should be able to be blessed and enjoy your children at least as much as I do. I don't think it's possible that it's more, but that's the way it is. But it's easy because they're fantastic.
That's very kind, Mommy. We're blessed to have you. Thank God.
And if your teacher, Ita, she's my granddaughter. Do they come any better?
And does anyone, we can open up, unmute yourself if you'd like to ask a question of my mother. You can ask her any question. Girls,
I'm not
mothers,
shy
fathers.
I'm not shy anymore.
Anybody wants to ask anything?
Yeah, regarding I'm sorry.
Tuky?
Tuky.
Yes. Hi.
Sorry.
Hi, how are
It's
you?
Yamit.
Yeah, how are you?
I see. You're beautiful.
Thank you. You're beautiful. You're an inspiration.
I thought about you bas mitzvah girls, I thought you were.
Yeah, right. Okay, thank you. So just the timeline doesn't make, the timeline wasn't clear for me. Like how long were you in hiding?
It's very hard for, I was not yet 7. It's so hard for me to tell. I just don't, I remember going away, there was no snow. When we were liberated, there was snow. That's the only way I can tell you.
Okay.
On the farm, we were in summer because I didn't wear coats there. These are the only, I have no timeline that I can tell you.
So from the summer to the winter.
In the whole war in Hungary lasted from March 44 till January 45. Nothing. In Germany, they were still interned. They were still killing Jews and we were already liberated.
Okay. And what happened to the family that was hiding you?
Nothing. I'm grateful they didn't kill them, because actually, according to the laws of land, it's treason. It's really
treason, yeah.
It's treason. It's not something that one does. Anybody does anything like that, they jeopardize themselves. What you're asking, time. There is no question that I have no idea. My sister probably would have known even dates and hours, but I don't.
I remember her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She would tell you it was March 17, 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May God bless her memory.
Yeah. Thanks, Yamit. Anyone else? Any girls? Any parents? Okay, so I guess this was, there's so much.
Yes.
And it's very, very loaded and intense. But this was like a little piece of the information, right? A little snippet.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I want to also just tell everyone that this book, if you want to get more details of the story, it's a great, very highly recommend. It's an easy.
The book was written called Tuky.
It's called Tuky, and it's
I have anyone wants to lend it.
Yeah, I'm happy to lend my.
What?
Borrow it. Yes,
it.
Michaela. Yes, Michaela.
Amazon sells it.
Yeah.
What year did she like get out? What year was she was she able to leave the was she able to
leave the camp?
Yeah,
It was what, mommy, when were you, Michaela, my mother never made it to the camp, thank God, because the soldier in the basement where they were taking all the people out of that room, except my mother, she was hidden behind this big door. So she never went to the camp. She stayed in a little, I guess it's kind of a gated, like a prison, like a city prison where they kept all these. It was a prison. It was a prison where they kept everyone, and from this prison, trucks would come daily and take everyone away because they couldn't fill the trucks at one time. So when the truck came for my mother, they saved her. So she never went to the camp. She was just in this prison type of area. Anybody else? Okay, Ita, you were going to close up here.
I wanted to thank Tuky for this beautiful for the story. I mean, today is a sad day. You know that today is Yom HaZikaron. It's Memorial Day today for the fallen soldiers of Israel, and
yes,
I know.
So it's just the history of the Jewish people is filled with so much struggle, and you're here. I have tears in my eyes.
So much struggle and so much victory and so many beautiful things.
And it's not over. And it's not over. I think that's what
right.
we tell our kids, that it's not over.
Rabbi Yu, he'll tell you.
That's right.
I know. I have Rabbi Yu in my class. I know. So this is something that, we need to talk more about it with our kids. And really thank God that you made it. And thank God, the power of one.
Yes, thank God.
Yes. Thank you, Yamit. Yes.
And I have a question.
Okay, you're looking beautiful, Yamit.
Thank you.
Yes.
What is something that
Mommy.
adults can practically do to keep us our tradition and our heritage alive and on fire, and to keep, you know, the
chain.
the chain going? What's something practical that you would suggest that we can all do?
They have to learn more. They have to be happy and proud who they are. And I think parents have a big hand in this. Make sure you have a Shabbat. Make sure you have a Yom Tov. How will you ever know that you're Jewish if we don't do what Jews do? We have to know what you have to do what we Jews do. That's the only way. There is no band-aid, one thing. Just every day remember, say Modani, say Shema, say and put on Shabbos candles.
Right.
Do things that is Jewish. Do things that is Jewish, that keeps you Jewish. No song or any other thing will do it. You personally do it. Put the pushka in every house, and every child should put in every day.
A penny in the charity box. A pushka is a charity box.
A charity box. I do not leave the house without putting money in the charity box. I can't do this alone. I need help. I need help every single day. You have to have. You can't do it. You're very smart, but you can't do it alone. I think that's what you can do. Make a beautiful Shabbat. Ask your parents to make you a beautiful Shabbat table. Sit down, put away your devices and talk to each other and see each other. Then you will see how beautiful everybody is. You have so much to give, so much to live for. You're there, you're beautiful, talk. I see people going into restaurants with families, everybody's on their device. Then they gobble it, and while they eat, they're having their phone in their hands. Put it away, it's Shabbat, candlelight, you're all more beautiful in candlelight. Look at each other and talk, argue, do anything, but be there together. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can argue. You don't have to always agree. It's all right. Fine. Just be there together.
Take it from a pro.
Yeah.
It's true. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, Mommy.
Thank you so much, Papa. Thank you so much. I'd like to end off with everyone together.
I bless you all.
The Shema together.
Thank you, Tuky.
Thank you.
We'll cover our eyes and we can say the prayer for
We can all say Shema together, right?
I'll say it with you.
Okay.
So you can unmute
Shema.
Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad.
Right. Now you're more Jewish.
Always Jewish, we just ignited a little bit more of our soul. Shined
You
it.
do the work, just like Tuky
Shined
said.
our little
You do the
diamond.
work.
We shined our diamonds.
God bless
Thank you,
all.
Mommy.
Have a good night. Anytime.
Thank you,
Call me
Mommy.
if you remember any other requests.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, everyone.
Everyone, thank you for
Thank you,
joining.
Baba. Thank you,
Laila
Adab.
Tov.
Laila Tov,
Good
thank
night.
you.
Good night.